Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Little Psychic Podcast. I am your host, June Mack, and I'm here today with the beautiful Josephine Sartor. Is that how you say your surname,
That's
Josephine?
correct. That's
Great.
correct, baby.
Didn't
Yes.
even practice it. I am so excited to have her here today and ask her a few questions and get to know her a little bit better. We do somewhat know each other. We met through, or not met, I actually haven't met you in real life. We connected.
Yes. That's the word.
We connected through a mutual contact and we just hit it off and have been chatting ever since then. I believe was this year? This beginning of this year, Josephine?
Beginning in this year, beginning. Yes.
Yes,
About
yeah.
January.
Yes, I think so. And I definitely actually don't even know a lot of the answers to these questions because I wanted to keep it nice and organic, and we've spoken about lots of different things, but I'm really excited to get to know you even further. And just wanted you also, I do know this part, but I wanted you to introduce it for our listeners to tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and introduce yourself from your own perspective.
Oh, thank you so much, my dear June. And happy 40th, by the way.
Thank you.
You look beautiful and glamorous. Okay, so 40 was a big start for me in my life, and
Mhm.
it does change you internally. So you got to, yes,
Ooh,
in
I
a
love
good
that.
way. Oh, yeah, well, you start perimenopausal, you start all that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
great. That's what I've got to look forward to.
The hormones start changing. But anyway, happy birthday. You look great.
Oh,
And
thank
you
you.
know what? Many, many happy returns to a much more healthier lifestyle, healthy
Thank
life.
you. Thank you,
Okay.
Josephine.
So look, June, you did ask me, a little bit about myself. I'm a medium, a psychic medium. I live in Wollongong, New South Wales. So a lot of the listeners would know where that is. If they look on the map, they call it the Gong. I've been practicing my abilities, my mediumship for about 27 years.
Long time.
It's a long time. And how it all first started for me was I was about 9 years old, and my father was a steel worker and he worked for this man called Jack. And he was the foreman of the steelworks. Mum had 4 kids. We lived in a very modest house, and my father had a vegetable garden. So one day, my father was picking vegetables and he had a big bag full for this Jack and his wife. And because we had no grandparents here in Australia, they were like our grandparents because they were
Yep.
60 plus, and I thought that was old, a 9-year-old.
Yes.
So I went with my dad to her place, to Jack's place, and we carried the vegetables, and they were organic. And also, to when I walked in, I asked Mrs. whatever her name was, Mrs. Davies, I'll call her, where is Poppy Jack, because that's what we called him. And she
Yes.
said that he was sick and he was lying on the lounge. He didn't go to work. So I raced down the hallway. The hallways then were very, very long and narrow, and he was in the lounge room lying down. So I went up to him and I looked at him and I said, "Oh, Jack, are you sick?" And he said, "Oh, yes, I've got a headache." And I said, "Oh," and I was touching his forehead. And I said, "I don't want you to die."
Oh.
And he said, "No, darling, I'm not going to die. Tomorrow I'm going to be better." And I was happy. So I felt happy. And then I said, "I don't want you to die." I looked at him and he said, "No, darling, I'll be happy. Tomorrow I'm going to be happy." So anyway, long story short, I went home and I was not happy to tell anybody
Mm.
because they would think I was an evil girl.
Mm.
So yes, of course. So
Yeah.
anyway, his wife had asked me if I could stay in the house with her for some reason because her children had been grown up and married. And at 18, that in those days, going back 50 years ago, they were married, and 18, 19, they were all married out of the house. So I stayed in one of the girls' bedrooms, and there was a hat stand, and Jack's hat was on that hat stand. And
Mm.
I remember it was pitch black, and I saw a vision of a man that looked like him.
Wow.
And I just saw his face, and I said, "Oh, Poppy, Jack, you've come to visit me." And he
Mm.
nodded his head. And then the hat from the hat stand, which was next to my bed, had fallen on top at the edge of my legs. And I thought, oh, and I hid myself underneath the sheets because I was scared.
Yeah.
Now, the next morning, his wife got up and she said, "Who are you talking to? And what is Poppy Jack's hat doing on your bed? It's not
Wow.
supposed to be there." And I had told her what
Yep.
happened. Well, she didn't want to see me. She took me back home and she took to my mum and she said to my mum, "Your daughter's been saying these silly things. I think she's having a nightmare. I don't know what's wrong with her." So, of course, I copped the third degree again.
Oh,
Don't tell
no.
anybody, go to your
Yep.
room. That's how it all started. Then I got to high school and it all got worse from there on.
Mm.
And I reached about 16, 17, and I went to see a medium. And
Yep.
she was a local medium. And the minute that I walked into the door, she told me, "You can do what I can do,
Mm.
but you're
Yes.
afraid and
Yes.
you've got to go on a journey." So went to her place. I'd catch two buses to go to her place once a week. And all we would do is sit down and just sit there quietly and just imagine the divine source coming to us. Now, I did not know how to meditate. I thought I
Mm.
must be doing something right. But that's how it all started until I
Wow.
got to about 21 years of age and I went to live in England.
Mm.
And then that just grew from there. And then I came back to Australia. I lived in England for 3 years with a couple who had no children. And the actual husband did not believe in it. His name was Bill. And his wife, Winnie, did. And I noticed that the bedroom that they had let me sleep in was where Bill's mother had passed away, because I saw
Mm.
this frail woman in my room.
Oh, no.
And then when I told Win, she told me, "That's her, that's her." And she showed me a picture of her. And
Yes.
then we started going to the spiritual churches. And it
Yep.
just grew and grew and grew. But it's
Yeah.
been a
Wow.
tough journey
Mm.
because I had to learn to accept
Yes.
and to understand what connecting with spirit, what they expect from you, and the dedication and the trauma that you go through, the challenges that you go through trying to guide your way in the right direction with all this, because I had nobody really to back me up.
No, yeah, and you're so brave for actually being able to come out and yeah, do this, because that's the number one thing that a lot of people like psychic mediums have to deal with, is really the fear of coming out and dealing with that. They're afraid if they open this up, like they won't be able to close the door on it again. So a lot of them just, ignore it for so long when really they've got a calling to do this. So
Yes,
did you when did you start doing professional readings? Like at what point?
I was about 33, 34,
Yeah.
and I was just, playing around, with different friends, doing different, readings and just writing things down for people. But it got really to a point where I had to stop because people were starting to come to me. And I thought, oh, I just can't handle it. There's just, they want to know this, they want to know that. And I was scared that I was going to make a mistake.
Yeah. Again, another thing that so many psychic mediums are worried about is the fear of getting no's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to become more confident in myself and
Yes.
to
Yes.
believe in myself
Yes.
and to understand the type of people that I was going to attract,
Yeah.
because people only come to you when they want readings, when they're in search of an answer.
Yes,
And they want you to
definitely.
give them that positive answer, and it's not always there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so as you know, being a medium yourself,
Yes.
and sometimes people just that they just don't want to face the truth. So they
Mm,
come, "Oh, no, no, no." You tell them something, "No, no, no." And I say, "Well, it's yes, because that's what it is." But then they try and change it. But
mm,
they're not disappointing me. They're going to disappoint themselves. So
yeah.
until you come to accepting the reality of the truth, don't bother coming to someone like me.
It's such a journey, isn't it?
It's a big journey, but
Big
it's a journey
journey.
of acceptance.
And so, yeah, 100%. So what you're doing now, tell us a bit more about what you're doing now. You're offering this the psychic and mediumship readings.
Yes, I do
Yep.
them. I do them definitely,
Yes.
and I love doing them. I
And you're
do.
doing and you're offering the tuning forks at the
Yes, so I
moment? Yep.
studied the practitioner's course in tuning forks because I
Yep.
believe sometimes people don't really need a reading, they need a healing session instead.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's very, very important, because a reading can only help you to a certain extent. So
Mm,
if I hear that voice on the phone, "I need a reading," I say, "No, you don't. You don't need a reading. You need a healing," because you have a lot of issues from the past that need to be cleared
yes.
before a reading can help you.
Yeah, that's great. I love it that you do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yep.
And I also, the readings I prefer face to face. I have done
Mm.
telephone readings.
Yes.
I have done those, but I do prefer face to face readings. I
Mm.
like the connection with the person. Don't
Yes.
ask me to do a Zoom reading because I don't know how to work the computer. Okay? I'm not computer savvy.
You're working it out fine.
Oh, with your help, see.
Yeah.
Yes, but another thing too, June, I do love the tuning forks because
Yes.
that we are a frequency,
Mm.
and that they've been used for many years, and we are energy. But I also have been getting into the psychic artistry, where I'm a practicing psychic artist. So if I see a picture of someone that's coming through to me that I may find is around you, I will start describing that person on paper, sketching that person to the best of my ability, but I'm still practicing. And I also do auragraphs. And
Yes.
auragraphs is the circle of life. So this is the auragraph, right?
Yep.
So you draw a circle, and then I look at your aura, and then I pick up what elements it's showing me, whether it's a name, whether it's a tree, whether it's a flower, whether it's a number, or the color. So whatever color that I'm sketching is the color of your aura on that day.
That's
So
so
brings that.
interesting.
It is very
Yeah.
interesting, and I love it. So I offer a lot of different services, and I love doing, because they're all different, and I love learning.
Yeah. Can I ask you about colors of auras? Because that's something that I don't see very often, only occasionally. Do you find that certain colors mean certain things about the person?
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, when a person walks in and they walk in for a reading, I can always tell by the look of their aura. That's the first thing I tell. Okay.
And do
Some
you
are
see
white.
that immediately or you need
Yes,
to tune in
yes.
first?
No. So once they're walking inside and I look at them, I see their aura and I think, oh
Wow.
God, yes. So I think this is a white aura. This person's quite happy. This person's got a lot of spirit here today. If
Yep.
I see a grey aura, okay, I think, oh, this person's not happy. How the hell am I going to
Mm.
get through to her? Which I think, God help me. And if I see a red aura, that can mean a lot of things as well. It could be the person's been very courageous, or is very angry or frustrated. So I
Mm.
can always tell about the color of, because it means a lot to me. So I tap into that straight away.
And do you think that the colors have individual meanings to you? And so, say if another person saw someone with a red aura, that color would mean different things to that particular psychic medium. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay, cool.
yes. So
Yep.
for me, those colors instantly will tell me that person's got a lot of anger, the red aura.
Mm,
She's
right.
very angry. She's
Yes.
so angry. She
I hope
needs to
mine's
calm.
not red.
Now, yours is beautiful, honey. Yours is pink
Thank
today.
you. Oh,
Yours
I
is
love
pink.
that. What
Yes,
does
yours
pink
is pink.
mean?
Well, I don't know. I think I told you the color pink once before. I don't know what that means, but for me, I'm seeing pink. I just see you're very balanced and grounded.
Oh, good.
Okay?
That's nice.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's so interesting. Can I ask you as well, in terms of the psychic development and when you really fully decided to step into this space? I know you said you probably didn't start doing readings until probably about your 30s. In what ways, like positively, would you say that it changed your life? Did it make you feel sort of like coming home or more like you could be yourself?
Both. Both.
That's good.
So I found the more readings I did for people,
Yep.
the more that I began to understand me,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
Because everyone's got problems,
yes.
some worse than others,
Mm-hmm.
but I grew with that person. So with my clients, they made me grow.
Yes.
And because we've been through trauma or had challenges, I was able to help them, but they were
Mm.
able to help me. And
Ah,
it changed my life so deeply, especially connecting to spirit.
yes.
Because the connection with spirit is something so special. It's so unique. And I just think, geez, I'm lucky. I
Yeah.
don't get entrapped in all this outside world, even though
Mm.
I do my own washing, I dust my house, I do all the daily activities because spirit doesn't do them for me.
No.
And I don't just give them a feather duster and say, dust my house today. But they have made me who I am.
Mm.
And I've had a different outlook on life. and a much broader outlook on life by
Mm.
doing readings for people. And the rewards that I've gotten is if I could help that one person put a smile on their face or bring them closure to a deceased loved one in the spirit world, that is worth more than money can buy.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about it. And I so agree. I didn't think of it in that way in terms of that it really changes you at the same time. Like it just, I feel like when people connect and fully step into themselves and are helping other people, the amount of happiness, you think you are happy before, but the amount of happiness and the way you look at things, it just changes
Completely.
in a good way, in a good
In
way.
a good way, in a great way, in a great way.
Yeah. And you've had two books as well that are published books because I have an episode that hasn't come out yet, but it talks a little bit about my first book that's come out. Tell us a little bit about how your first book came about and then the next one.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your
Oh,
books as
thank
well,
you.
by the way, darling.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, my first book was 10 and a half years ago.
Yep.
It was when mum had passed away, and because
Mm,
she wouldn't accept what I did,
yes.
like none of the family did, they
Sorry
thought
to
it was,
hear that. Yeah.
oh, well, that's just life. But I still loved her. She was my mum. And I called it I Believe in You. And that's the last words that she had said on her
Oh,
deathbed.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so she held my hand, and that's what she told me. So I
Oh.
thought, I've got to write this book, which I did.
Mm,
And the second one that I wrote, which was a few years later, it was about 3 years later that I wrote a second book, which was called More Than Meets the Eye. And that talks about the time that I helped with an investigation.
oh, wow. I
Yeah,
didn't know you did
in New
that.
York. Yeah, well, I've only done one, and it
Yes.
was through a medium that asked me if I would help her.
Yes.
So she was asked by the police department, and she had asked me if I could give her any clues or help because it was a
Mm,
very, very big case, which we
yeah.
ended up finding the girl anyway.
Oh, wow. With
Yes,
your
that
help?
wasn't. No, it wasn't a good outcome, but
Oh,
it did help. It did help, but I
yes.
was very
Okay.
scared of doing that because I've never done that before. So
No.
yeah, so in return, she used to do big mind, body, and spirits conferences in New York,
Mm.
and she was moving, and she had asked me if I would take her place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did, and that's where Ground Zero was. It was in 2007 when I went there, and
Yep.
that is where I went to Ground Zero and picked up a lot of things about deceased spirit people there. But also, I had a lot of people that came for a reading in New York that had lost people in Ground Zero.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
so that's in the book as well. But I talk about
Yep.
different topics in the book as well. I talk about the readings that I've been able to be successful with, and the readings that I could not help people.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that does happen sometimes too.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And it's not that you can't help them, it's just that they don't want to help themselves. So you try and give
Mm.
them the information, or there is nothing there. So you have to
Hmm.
remember the energy of a person when they're sitting in front of me for a reading, June. If
Mm.
their body language is negative, if they're just, sitting there with the head slumped, it's very, very hard to bring out information forward
Mm.
because they're just negative. So
Yeah.
it's the same when you go to a concert. If the performer sees that the actual audience is engaging and having fun and their energy is high, well, it's the same in a reading. Well, then the performer even performs even better because
Yes.
they're getting that
Yeah.
vibration. Well, it's the same with everything else that you do. And I
Hmm.
found that in readings. If the person's got their legs crossed, their hands crossed down like that, they're just not interested. They just don't want to be there, but they
Mm.
want you to solve their problems.
And they can be closed off. And
Very closed off.
that's actually the reason why I took gift vouchers off my website because people were coming because someone had bought them a gift voucher because the person who gifted it wanted this person to have a reading, and the person who actually received the gift voucher not always were actually that excited to get a reading and were just
Exactly.
coming because their daughter told them to. And I every time I did one of those, it was like trying to squeeze blood out of a stone for information because they just weren't that interested, weren't into it, weren't a believer, and they were trying to be made a believer by whoever bought them the gift voucher. So I took them off my website for that reason.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
I now say if people want to gift them gift a reading, does that person who you're gifting it to definitely want this reading before you do
Yes.
that?
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. It's
And you
crazy,
can't
isn't it?
force you can't force someone to believe in what you do. And I
Yes.
don't, I that's why I never talk openly about what I do. So if I go away, if I'm at a party, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm semi-retired. I just look after animals because they're not interested. I learnt my lesson many, many years ago when I was at a party and this guy said, oh, what do you do? I said, I do readings. And oh, he said, you should be in a circus. That's what he told me. And I
So
said,
rude.
well, I said, you're one of the many clowns that I have to work with. And I walked away. So I left that to his imagination because people don't always, they think this is strange or they just don't believe. I think it's a whole heap of hocus pocus. So I learnt
Mm.
my lesson since then, and I don't tell people unless they talk about it or start to talk about it. I will not say anything.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And do you believe that everyone has intuitive abilities or are born with psychic or mediumship abilities?
Well, I have to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit on the fence about that. I
Mhm.
personally believe that you are born with it.
Yep.
Okay. So I believe some people have just got that natural ability because we've all born with intuition.
Mm.
Some people go to a school, and that's fair enough to try and enhance their abilities, but
Mhm.
only reach a certain level.
Mm.
So they can try and practice. And of course, you've got to practice this. You've got to
Yes.
dedicate your time. You've got to be loyal to it. You've got to be, it's challenging as well. And you have to be willing and prepared to make mistakes because we all make mistakes and
Mm.
not guess.
Yep. I think as well, I sort of like to refer it to learning how to sing. So technically, we all can learn how to sing, but some people are, no matter how much they practice, no matter how much they try, they're going to get to a certain
Yes.
point, that's
Yes.
just gonna, they're not naturally, gifted or great at it, which would be me in terms of singing.
Same
I'm
here.
sure I could get
Same
better.
here. Yeah, same here. Well,
I'm sure I could get better, but I'm never going to get to a professional level. And that's
no.
how I see it with, same as with intuitive abilities. Like you definitely, if you're drawn to it and it excites you, you're curious, there's probably a reason as to why you're supposed to try it, or it's going to enhance your life to some degree. But yeah, I think some people are just, made to do this for a living, and other
Yes.
people use it to enhance your life because it definitely makes your life better if you have better intuition. You're not second guessing yourself all the time. But yeah, there are some people that I just believe are meant to have it as a professional level, and others that aren't, because we're all here to do different things, right? We're all here to
Exactly.
achieve different things in our lifetime.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? There are a lot of so-called mediums out there. And I always say there are mediums and there are mediums. And a lot of these people are in it for the wrong reasons. So a lot of egos out there that need to come down. I always say to them, why are you doing this? You're doing it for the right reasons
Mm,
because it does come at a price. And you know that it does come at a price. Oh,
mm,
yes, yes. But, I've done all these shows. And I think it's not about the show. It's about you devoting yourself to spirit world and devoting yourself to the people that really need you. That's what's important. It's not about you. It's about them. Okay?
mm.
You're just the girl that does the messengers. That's all you are. That's all you are. You're the girl that does the messages, and that you connect with the spirit world because they want to connect with you.
Yes. And do you have any advice for, I guess, someone who would like to start in their psychic development journey?
Yes, I do. I think the most important advice I give is make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons.
Mm.
Okay? Not because you want a medal on your heart, right? If there's it's and be prepared to face the challenges. And if you are not emotionally stable, because you have to be emotionally prepared for the
Yes.
good, bad, the ugly,
Yes.
right? That all comes with part of it. It's not just the pretty thing, you're this famous medium. There's no such thing. It's about being grounded. You've still got a life, you've still got to work, you've still got to pay your bills. And the spirit world is a different world, but
Mm.
make sure that you stay grounded. That is very important, and keep it simple. And there are some things that you can discuss with people, and there are something that you should not be discussing while you're on this journey because some people will never understand it.
Yeah.
Never,
Yep.
never. And just to be patient. I just think that there's a lot of people that say, I've connected with my grandmother last night. they could have had a dream, and that's true. And I would ask them to keep on working with that. Okay.
Mm,
Meditation, sitting still, clearing your thoughts is very, very important. Okay. Taking a walk on the beach. You don't have to sit every day for 2 hours and meditate like a deep monk. You can do it for half an hour. Look, I do mine for half an hour every
yep.
day where I sit quietly. Is because I need that connection with
Mm,
myself. So
yep.
it's finding your true self. And this is what the advice that I would give to people.
Yeah, that's great advice. I definitely always say to people when they're feeling strung out or they're feeling really lost in their lives, I'm always like, do you meditate? You should probably try meditation.
Can I say this to you? I'm looking at you now
Yeah.
and I see an uncle that's a priest.
Oh, yes. You've connected with my priest uncle before.
You know? When was that?
Yes.
Oh yes, yes, his name.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
In one of our sessions.
Well, he's here now.
What's he doing? What's he saying?
Well, he's praying. He's actually got a rosary bead in his hand.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
serious. And he
Mm.
said to me that you are going to go and visit him.
We are going to the
Oh my God.
Philippines in September, yes.
This September or next
This
September?
September,
This,
yes.
oh my God, that's not far.
No, yes.
Well, you've got to go. And he just told me to tell you, be careful that you don't cut your foot on a rock.
Oh my gosh, now I'm gonna be paranoid the whole
No, you
time.
don't have to be paranoid because I feel you're going to be on a beach.
Oh, okay, yep.
I
Yes,
feel you're going to be on
probably.
a beach. Well,
Yep,
I mean, I know Philippines, but I feel you're going to this island or this beach part.
yep,
I don't know if you're going with the family for a few days. It's a beachy part, okay?
yes.
And there's quite a few rocks, and there are rocks everywhere, but it could be one that you don't see.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy those shoes, those reef
You've got to
shoes.
buy those shoes. But he told me to tell you, um, who's Joe
I've there's Joe in spirit or Joe in person?
in spirit?
I've got I don't know. I've got a past Uncle Joe, but like I didn't know him.
But this was years ago that he passed away.
Yeah, I didn't know him, if that's who he's
Okay.
referring to.
Well, he
Yep.
said Joe, Joseph, I don't know, but he said that. And he
Yep.
also mentions Rome. So,
Rome.
yeah, so he mentions Rome. So I don't know if he wanted to go to the Vatican,
Probably.
okay, because he
So
was very religious.
he was,
He
yes.
was exceptionally well. You had one uncle that was religious, had the rosary bead. The other one had the alcohol in his hand. So I feel there was two very, very different uncles here, but
Yes.
I feel that the other one was a bit of a rat bag. So
Yeah, probably.
yeah, so you went
Yep.
from a well, this one was different. So this one was very devoted. The other one was footloose and fancy free.
Yes. That yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay, then. Well, they're here because when I was just tuning into you just now, he came
Yeah.
with rosary beads and he said happy birthday and he prayed for a long and happy life.
Oh,
But
that's
the
nice.
other uncle was a bit of a not rat bag, but he was different, the opposite to the other one.
Definitely very cheeky. I did love him because of his cheekiness personality. He was funny.
He was, and he was
Yeah.
very, very cheeky. So I
Yes.
just picked that up now. So sometimes, June, I do get these instant flashes.
Yeah.
So I could be staring at someone and I go, bingo. I think, oh, that woman, oh my goodness, she's not well or she doesn't know she's well. Or, even sometimes looking at animals and
Mm.
then just staring and I look into their eyes and I say, oh, you're not happy, darling. You're not well. Your auntie doesn't know, your auntie doesn't know. Communication with animals, because animals are very, very intuitive.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very intuitive. But when I was looking at you and I was looking at your aura and I was looking at you and I thought, there's two men here. One's a bit of a swinger and the other one is very, very, so
Yes.
help me.
Oh,
Yes.
well, thank you. I love that. Yes, I always am open to any uncle that wants to come and say hello, that wants
Yes.
to come and
Well, I just thought that, even with your books and also with your talents, I have to congratulate you because you're a very, very talented young lady.
oh, thank you. You too. Right
Yes,
back at
you're
you.
you're very talented. We hit it off very, very well.
Yes, for sure. I love it. And that's actually where I wanted to ask you as well. If people want to find you and to connect with you, whereabouts would be the best places that they could connect?
Okay, June. So they can go to my positive intentions, Romeo, and Romeo is my cat, by the way, we're ragdoll cat, because I'm
So
an
cute.
animal lover, cats, dogs, zebras, elephants, everything. So positive intentions, Romeo on Instagram.
Yep.
And also my Facebook business page is positive intentions only. It's got a big red rose
Yes.
and people can message me through there.
Okay,
And then,
perfect.
and that's how they do it. I do it privately. I do not have a booking system. I do not
Yep.
have a website.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All,
So
all through the DMs.
all through the DMs, please, if they want to. But
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure being here with you.
It's
And
been
you have
amazing.
you have a little psychic school as well, don't you?
Yes, the Little Psychic School, judemac.com/, the Little Psychic School. We've actually done a big rebrand and all exciting new things going in there, and it's got a whole new energy. So I'm really pumped for its like relaunch or re-release. Did you have any last words that you wanted to say before we finish up the episode, Josephine?
Yes, I would like to, and this is very important that I
Yes.
express. I want any listener that's listening today is just to be very aware of who they get to read for them. I
Yes.
always find that word of mouth is the best form of advertisement.
Yes. Yep.
Now, sometimes having said that, who might be good for you may not be good for the other person. Do you
Yes.
understand? Because
Yep.
everyone connects differently.
Mhm.
But the best form of advertising to me has been I get people through other people. So
Yes.
somebody might
Yep.
tell their friends and so forth and so forth.
Mhm.
That is very, and do not be conned into anyone that says that you have, these negative spirits, evil spirits around you, or your family's going to pass away soon. I had a big encounter with a lady who took a lot of money from a woman that I knew, came crying on my door, and eventually we got her $5,000 back.
Wow, that's a lot of
Yeah.
money to
So
have
the
lost.
police did track her down in the end, and she thanked me. And I told her to stop this. They con you into these things, believing that something's going to happen to the child, to your husband, or your marriage is going to
Oh,
break up.
so
It is
awful.
scary business.
Yes, yes. That's so
Okay.
awful, and it really puts a like, I mean, there's bad people that work in every industry, but it's just so embarrassing. It just puts like a bad name out there, and people think that we're all con artists, but it just breaks my heart when I hear stories like that. So that's a really good final piece of advice is to be
Yes. And I
careful.
just want to wish anyone that's listening, okay, good health and abundance of prosperity in many ways and a long and happy life, and to just protect themselves from all types of harm. Just call on your guardian angels and they will protect you. That's all you have to say.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Josephine. It's been so amazing to get to know you a little bit
Oh,
further and to hear all your advice. So thank you.
thank you, June. You're amazing. And thank you for having me on this wonderful podcast.
Oh, thank you.